What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we got Keith One-Time Thurman versus Jaron Boots Ennis. There's talks floating around and rumors floating around and speculation that if Terence Crawford is to move up to 154, he will be relinquishing his belts at 147, and the two could potentially face off for a vacant title shot, right? Here's why that wouldn't make sense. For one, Keith One-Time Thurman has already held the WBC, the WBA, and the super welterweight belt at 147, which that belt to me is a fake belt. But he's held two of the four main belts at 147. And at one point in time, he was the top welterweight who was fighting, arguably one of the best at the time, behind Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Due to injury and inactivity, Keith Thurman has just fallen to the wayside, right? So here's why that fight wouldn't make sense. If Terence Crawford moves up to 154, what would be the point in Keith Thurman facing Jaron Ennis at that point? So it would be a good fight. Yeah, the fans would like it. Would be a fan favorite fight, but for Keith Thurman, it would not do him any justice. Because if he beats Jaron Boots Ennis and he gets a title at 147, who can he fight after that at 147? I think his best option would be to move up in weight to 154, to where he could face Terence Crawford, or Earl Spence, or Danny Garcia, or any of those guys in 154. Now, the fight will make more sense for Keith Thurman to face Boots if Terence Crawford was to remain at 147. Because the winner of the Boots versus Keith Thurman could then have a shot at the champ, right? That would make sense. Now, if Crawford is to move up, it still will be a good fight for Boots, because Boots now will be fighting a former champion. And a win over a former champion just adds more bargaining chips, right? It gets your stock up. Because Jaron Ennis is a top contender up and coming, if Keith Thurman was to beat him, it wouldn't necessarily get his stock up. Now, people say, well, Chuck, you contradicting yourself because you said Terence Crawford should fight Boots Ennis. Yeah, at 147, right? Because he's the mandatory. Terence Crawford is the undisputed champion. He should honor his mandatory and fight Boots. He should give him a shot. If he's going to remain at 147, he should give Boots a title shot, right? That's why I say he should fight Boots at 147. If Terence Crawford moves up to 154, there's no point in the Boots fight happening. At that point, there's no point at all. Because if you move up to 154, now we want to see you fight those names up there, like Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? Or Jamel Charlo if he comes back down to 154. We know the Boots fight is no longer the fight that we want to see. We only want to see the Boots fight because you're at 147 and he's at 147. So the fight between Keith and Boots, it would make sense at 147, only if Crawford is staying there. If he's moving up to 154, that fight don't even make sense no more. Thurman should move up to 154. Boots should probably move up to 154. So that's where I'm at with that. I think it's a good fight. If the fans want to see the fight, I think it's a great fight between Keith Thurman and Jaron Ennis. I think he should give the guy a shot. And I think the winner should have a shot at the champ at 147. But if Terence Crawford does honor the rematch, which it looks like he is doing that, and it does like he's going to move up to 154, I don't see the point in Keith Thurman fighting Boots Ennis, because Keith Thurman said it himself. He's not going to be no gatekeeper for these up-and-coming fighters. He said that he's got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? He's did some heavy lifting. He fights on pay-per-view. He don't want to be on no undercard. He wants to be the main event, and he wants to put on big fights from here on out. That's where he's at with it, and that's where I'm at with it. Like I said, Keith should fight him, only if Crawford is to remain at 147. That's my take on it, guys. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out.